Pentecost, called Shavuot, the Feast of Weeks in Hebrew, first appears in the books of Exodus and Leviticus, occurring 50 days after the Passover, the Exodus from Egypt. Passover and Pentecost initially are agrarian-based holidays. That is, agrarianism are cultures that are centered around economically with the cultivation of the land. And so their worship often revolved around a harvest time. For Passover, that was barley, and for Pentecost, it's the wheat harvest in the land of Israel. The rabbis noticed that it took 50 days to get from the Exodus of Egypt to Mount Sinai. And what happened at Mount Sinai? The first time that God actually appeared to his people. He spoke to them. What did he speak? He gave his Torah, his teaching and his instructions to the children of Israel. So theologically, we begin to have a switch. Theologically, Shavuot, Pentecost, becomes the festival of the giving of the Torah. A close look at the text in Exodus 20 raises some very interesting questions. Most translations say of Exodus 20:18 that the people witnessed thunder and lightning as God spoke. But the Hebrew is a little more clearer than that. We have a look at the text in Shemot, Exodus 20:18. We read that Kol ha'am ro'im et hakolot ve'et halepedim ve'et kol hashofar. Literally, all the people saw voices, they saw fire, and they saw the voice of the shofar. Now this begs the question, how can you see voices? How can you see fires? And how can you see the voice of the shofar? In Jewish tradition, when God speaks, fire came out of his mouth. And those fires were also his voice. And there were multiple versions. As God spoke, it split into multiple fires. This explains why the people saw both fire and voice. King David records in 2 Samuel chapter 22, verse 9, that when God speaks, fire does indeed come out of his mouth. Jewish tradition records that as God spoke to the people of Israel, the fire came out of his mouth, split into 70 fires, each fire with a unique voice. Why 70? Where does that number come from? Actually, it comes from Genesis chapter 10, where we see the nations of the world. All the nations of the world are listed as 70 peoples, each one with a distinctive language. So in Jewish tradition, the giving of the Torah is something that occurs